Everyone at the festival seemed to have gone to the stream, so their voices were distant. The voices of the bugs, on the other hand, were clear, lending an empty feeling of isolation to the place. How was it? Interesting? Tomitake-san gave us a somewhat mischievous grin. He should have been able to tell by looking at how pale our faces were. I should have kept watch outside with you, Tomitake-san. Yeah, I didn't need to hear all those ghost stories. Ha 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 ha. Tomitake-san laughed, so delightfully that it wiped away our dark feelings. How did you fare, Shion-chan? Were you scared? Nah, she was doing better than Keiichi was. I was prepared for it, so I wasn't too afraid, but seeing the real thing was powerful. Shion spoke like she wasn't scared at all. She really had been quite afraid, but seeing as how I was in way worse. Let's start it again. Seeing as how I was in a way worse state than her, I didn't have much room to talk. As Tomitake-san grinned candidly, my mind, exhausted and locked up by nervousness, began to calm itself. Was Takano-san an adult about this little expedition? You know how she seems like a child sometimes. I was worried she would be way too excited. Both Shion and I laughed and left that as our answer. Hopefully, she was only looking at things. I am worried she might sneak something out of there, or mess with a ritual implement too much and break it or something. Wait, that's quite possible. Have we just left her in the shed all by herself right now? No, we're looking. Yeah, yes we have. She is alone in there right now. She might pilfer some small and easily concealed hiding it in her pocket. Yeah, I can see that. Shion said what I was thinking. You sure she didn't break anything? I could clearly hear some noises like someone jumping up and down. No, that was just her being excited. I was getting pretty nervous. I'm sorry. I ran out of film. Hiro-san, if you have any more, could I use some? Takano-san suddenly appeared while we were talking about her, taking everyone by surprise. Tomitake-san smoothly grinned and responded as if nothing had happened. He's pretty mature. Ha 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 ha. I'm all out of spare film. Sorry about that. Jeez. You can't win any prizes by not stocking enough film on any occasion, you know. I suppose that's it then. I suppose that's a big photography prize then. Tomitake-san scratched his head apologetically. Without film, we're done here. Takano-san seemed to have given up because of that too. We checked carefully to make sure we hadn't left anything inside, then closed the door and turned to the heavy padlock we left beside it. Takano-san, you didn't sneak anything out, right? How rude. I'm trying not to be that childish. Ka-clank. Tomitake-san set the padlock back to the way it was before. On my cursory glance, it doesn't look like thieves had snuck in at all. Okay, let's get over to the stream ourselves. If we don't at least set some cotton afloat, there won't be any point in coming to the festival. Tomitake-san spoke brightly, urging us all on. Letting cotton afloat down the stream. I shake my head a few times, driving away my dismal thoughts as to the double meaning. Takano-san, looking a little let down, kept turning back to glance at the ritual storehouse. Let's just leave it at that, alright? You saw enough to sate your curiosity, didn't you? Do you really want to take one piece back, doesn't she? Oh, not at all. I think I found only renewed my interests. All those stories and legends suddenly hold water. After today, I'm going to have to change the way I look at all of this. Wow, It's truly indomitable. My curiosity really is something else. Still interested in all this through and through. We descended the stone stairs and all the people crowding the stream came into view. Near the bottom of the stairs we could clearly see people receiving cotton that had been cut out for them, then wishing upon the cotton and setting it to float down the stream. The festival was already over. Damn, I missed my chance to photograph the best part of Watanagashi. Oh, but it's not too late. I'm going to go and set some afloat. Perhaps you can take pictures of me? Takano-san with an impish expression brought her head to Tomitake-san's shoulder. Despite his age, he looked embarrassed. I felt an honest respect for Tomitake-san, man to man, for dating such a handful of a woman. Goodbye then, my Barakun, Shion-chan. We're going down to the stream. Would you like to come with us? No. I couldn't get in your way. Please, take your time. Shion waved her hand to them with an expression just as impish as Takano-san's. Tomitake-san, on his part, seemed to want us to come, but whatever. Shion gave a big stretch and sat down on the stone steps. Heh, I'm pretty worn out. Same here. I'm exhausted too. Yeah, it felt like an eternity spending time in there, isn't it? Kei-chan, this is your first Watanagashi, isn't it? You go on, don't mind me. I'm tired, so I'd like to stay away from the crowd. Yeah, if we were to go now, we'd barely slip into the end of the cotton drifting ceremony. My sister and your other friends might be looking for you too. Go on. Oh, yeah, right. They've been by themselves ever since we got separated. I feel bad if they were looking for me. And Shion suddenly got a playful look on her face and put her index finger to her lips as if telling me to keep this a secret. My sister's the type that gets really jealous. If she knew I was hugging you this whole time, she'd never let me hear the end of it. So keep tonight a secret, okay? Keep tonight a secret. Don't say things that are so embarrassing. But only because of that either. Considering what we were doing tonight, we really need to keep it a secret. Oh yeah, Shiro-sama's curse might happen tonight, and we four would be the prime candidates. The loosening threads of tension became taut again. Just when we got relaxed about it all. Shion, however, burst out laughing. Alright, I'm going to get out of here before I run into my sister. I really am tired, so I don't have the insurance to put up with her anyway. I can't tell if you get along with her or not. We get along. Though as she said that, her vague expression explained that there was a lot of oddities in a relationship between twins. I'm an only child, so I don't really get it. Make sure you get along with her, okay? Right, thank you kindly for your meddling. Okay, I'm gonna go. You should hurry up if you want to make it, Kei-chan. Watanagashi really is about to end. Shion stood up and brushed the dust off her backside. After watching her do so, I returned my eyes to the final ceremony of the Watanagashi festival below me. Seriously though, what was that sound anyway? It was kind of unpleasant and creepy. Sound? Huh? What sound? The sound. You know, the banging noise. It was really loud, wasn't it? I was giving her a blank expression, so Shion stared hard at me. I stared hard at her too. Sorry, Shion. Did you give me the short version? What was making the sound? Wait, Kei-chan. It didn't bother you? When all said and done, it was like we were speaking two different languages. Shion, explain to me without jokes from the beginning, will you? What's this about the noise? K-chan, you quit joking around too. Really, honestly, it didn't bother you? Neither of us were giving any ground, and both of us were staring at each other in disbelief. We were answering questions with more questions, with no sign of an actual conversation in sight. Baffled, I held in the urge to shout at her and asked politely one more time. I'm going to ask one more time, okay? I'll ask the questions. She nodded silently. Okay, here goes. You said there was a sound. What were you talking about? The banging sound. It was like a kid jumping up and down on floorboards somewhere far away. It really didn't bother you? There was nothing to be bothered by. When did you hear this? I never heard anything. Wait, K-chan, are you serious? Shion, as if she didn't understand my plain, simple answer, pressed me further, her expression serious. I have no clue what she's talking about, but if it has Shion acting so like this, whatever it was gave me the creeps and sent a chill down my spine. It was a while we were looking around the inside of the ritual storehouse with Takano-san. About the time she started her stories, I think it was. Little by little, louder and louder, off and on. You heard a banging sound like a child jumping on distant floorboards. That can't be true. Don't start trying to scare me after all that. I didn't hear anything at all. In fact, it was so utterly silent in there that my own heartbeat was almost deafening. Please don't try to scare me either, K-chan. It was like something was making noise in time with Takano-san's scary stories, and I was totally creeped out the whole time. The chill rose from my spine to the back of my head. My blood turned cold as it crawled up my body. When it reached my head, my mind froze over. You and Takano-san weren't paying any attention to it at all, so I pretended not to hear it either, but you heard it, right? It happened a bunch of times and it was really loud. Shion's eyes were begging me to tell her I heard it. I had no doubt, however, that my own eyes suggested something entirely different. You're got to be kidding look. In that storehouse, we were surrounded by brutal ritual tools that looked like they were from another planet, listening to terrifying old stories. The whole time she had been hearing a sound that we couldn't hear by herself. Did that make Shion, who heard it, tremble, or should it make me, who didn't hear it, tremble? I didn't know the answer to that at the time. By now, Shion seemed to have made that decision before I did. What are you laughing about? I really got you, K-chan. I was fibbing the whole time. What? Shion laughed, saying how easily scared I was, and clapped me on the back. Her smile seemed somehow artificial and actually made me feel worse. Then, after leaving me with 2 or 3 generic diplomatic goodbye phrases, she left, almost like she was running away. All I could do was look after her, my mouth agape. At the end of the day, I didn't have a clue what was going on. Shion laughed it off and said she had been lying, but he couldn't possibly have been lying. Of course not. And now that I think back, Tomitake-san said the same thing, didn't he? Yeah, he did. I could clearly hear some noises like someone jumping up and down. I was getting pretty nervous. Tomitake-san, the most neutral party present at the time, had said he heard something. Then, that noise? It was real? The banging sounds. Sounds as though a child was jumping up and down on some kind of floorboards far away. Oyashiro-sama's curse, which happens every year, might happen again tonight. The most plausible victim candidates were Takano-san, Tomitaki-san, Shion, and me. The bustling of the people sounded far further away than I would have liked, and the sounds of the insects sounded too close for comfort. I am near so much human warmth, and yet I can't ever go back there again. That was the ominous idea that sprouted in my mind. Then, all of a sudden, I was pounced on from behind, causing my heart to lurch. Keiichi, we found you! It was Rika-chan. When I turned around, Mion and Rena were there too. Mion sighed and said, "Finally, we found you. Now we need to find Sakato." Everyone got split up this year. We should make sure we have somewhere to meet up afterwards next year. You're right. It's a festival, so we should all be together. I listened to Mion's happy declaration with a little bit of guilt. Yeah, what was she on the entire time? Keiichi, did you root for me while I was dancing? Yeah, I saw it all. You did a great job all the way through. No mistakes either. Yeah, that's right, Rika-chan. That didn't count as a mistake. I tensed up as I realised I made a mistake on my own. Mion slapped a hand onto my shoulder a little roughly. A little gross sweat broke out over my whole body. Did you do it too, Kei-chan? Did you get some cotton and send it down the stream? You haven't yet, right? Is that what I could feel her saying? Without the courage to tell any more lies, I lifelessly shook my head. Huh? You haven't, Keiichi-kun? You should go now, or it'll be over. It'll be over. Sorry, this is my first Watanagashi, so I don't really understand the rules and stuff. That's right. I'm sorry. Mion took my hand and we started walking down the stone steps. Hey, Kei-chan. What? Did you see Shion? My heart skipped another beat. Maybe Mion could sense my surprise through my hand. No. Oh well. I sort of think I saw her. think I sort of think I saw her. The two look so alike though, it might have been you. You wouldn't have gotten that wrong. We're wearing different clothes. Huh? Oh, that's right. Mion's momentary silence was like a death grip upon me. I just can't do anything about that, Shion. Well, it's her we're talking about, so we can just leave her be. Mion's expression returned to her former usual smile, and we continued down the stone steps, her firmly pulling my hand along. Don't leave me on side, eh? And then we set the cotton adrift, ignoring the possible double meaning of what this meant. But I continued to play the night away. Can't imagine this is when this is gone. From scrapbook 4 and 5 and after the festival. Let's continuing on. Ooh, plumbing the depths. I let out a great big yawn. It was like morning had arrived as soon as I got to sleep. As Mum set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile. What's the matter, Keiichi? What time did you go to sleep last night? Well, I wanted to go to sleep at midnight, but I had some trouble with that. You're probably all worked up from the festival. No, it's not that. Crunch. I crunched down hard on a pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. Were you too scared to go to sleep, Keiichi? Were you? After all that happened yesterday and our discussion about the sound Shion heard, That banging noise like a child far away jumping up and down on wooden floor. The story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slight sounds of faraway tree branches which should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up to the morning sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning.